Hey guys, Ariel Siegelman here with the DRACO Group. Today we're going to be talking about how you hold your weapon, and I'm going to go through the Israeli method of how we hold our weapons in Israel for a pistol. Okay, so number one, my hand. This is my shooting hand. So I've got all my fingers together, my thumb is apart, sort of like a puppet. Okay, notice that my bone runs up my arm right here. Okay, so when I grab my weapon, I'm going to place it into this little U in my hand. I'm going to go very high, okay? I'm looking for, I don't want to see any space right here. That's a problem. If I see space, it's a problem. I'm losing control of my weapon. I grip it very high in my hand. Notice that the skin actually bends up around the edge of my weapon here, around that little lip right there. Great. That's what I want to see. The skin bends up on top. In fact, if when the slide moves, I get tiny little paper cuts on either side of my hand, that's actually just fine. It means that I'm holding it nice and high. Okay, notice also that the slide itself is in line with the bone in my arm, with my radius. Okay, now, these three fingers are together, and the trigger housing actually rests on top of this finger here. So that's a point of reference. I want to make sure that my middle finger, that the weapon rests on top of the finger there. I'm gripping pretty tight with my hand. Notice that my trigger finger is outside of the trigger housing until I'm ready to shoot. Now, on this side, so this is a little bit different from the way that if you're shooting the British way, or a lot of people in America shoot with their thumb up high. In Israel, we shoot with our thumb bent down like this. This digit here is, notice it's parallel with the slide, and here I bend it down, okay? Now, my other hand, same kind of thing, just like a puppet. All my fingers are together. I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. I rest the trigger housing on top of my hand like this. These fingers grip around those fingers, so 4 fingers on top of 3 fingers. Trigger housing is resting on there, and I fill up this gap with my palm, and this thumb bends on top of that thumb, okay? This hand I'm holding as hard as I can. This hand I'm holding about 70%. This is the way I grip my weapon, and I hold it this way in order to shoot. Okay guys, you may be wondering why in Israel we hold the weapon with the thumb like this, rather than how in a lot of other places around the world they hold the thumb going high like this. So you can see there's a nice little shape here that's wide open. I can fit my palm into that shape, and I can grip my weapon like this. Both thumbs are nice and high. My other hand, you know, the weapon is resting on that other hand. This is a legitimate way to shoot. It's a good way. And in Israel, we shoot this way. Notice that the principle is still the same. So I'm still filling up this gap with the palm of my hand, and the other hand is just, the other thumb is just bent on top of that thumb. So why do we do that? It's because of this. In a combat environment, it is, especially if I'm fighting with a pistol, it is not uncommon that I have to take my hand off my weapon. And I might have to engage with one hand. And so if I shoot like this, and then I go to engage with one hand, I grab somebody or I grab something and pull it out of the way, and now I have to shoot, notice that I go forward, I immediately have to put this thumb into play. I have to do that in order to hold my weapon still. So if I'm pulling somebody out of the way and I gotta shoot, my thumb has to come down. So part of the thought process is just stay in a fighting position all the time, especially with the hand that is working the weapon. I'm in a fighting position here, I'm in a fighting position here. If I gotta shoot one-handed, I can, just like this. I prefer to shoot two-handed because it's more stable. So I can fight just like this, or I can take my hand off and fight like this. This never has to change. That's the thought process, or one of probably many reasons, but it's a good reason.